everyone, this is Sunniva.
And this is Johannes.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And welcome to another Rambling Reviews. This is another episode where we will be reviewing more than one game in one episode.
Yes.
It's the same magic as you had in the last video, but with different games, or else it would be really boring if it was the same games again.
Yeah.
So today we are taking a look at some smaller games.
Yeah.
So let's get to it.
Let's start with Similo.
Let's do Similo. This is actually 2 boxes of small games. These are really small. They're actually, you can basically break off this, I think, if you want to. This is kind of to hang on the shelf in the stores. You can break that off, I think. And then you have basically a deck of cards. You can even just take off the deck of cards and put a rubber band around it if you want to do that.
Yeah.
To make it even more available to bring with you. This isn't a video about how easy it is to bring the game with you. This is a video about these games. So Similo is kind of a team game. You're playing, it's kind of it is a cooperative game, but one guy is kind of the clue giver, and the other guys or the other gals or the other people, dogs, cats, whatever you're playing with, they are the guessers. So what you have in this game, I'm just going to show it because that's the easiest way. This is the Fables version. So in here I have just a pile of characters from different stories, fairy tales. So this is the Wicked Witch of the West. I choose one that was easy to say. This is Alice. You have all of this. So what you're going to do is that you are going to put a grid out of this. I don't remember exactly how many. I think it's 16. 16, I think, like 4x4 grid of this character, or it's a 5x5. I don't remember. But you do a grid. Doesn't really matter. And then the other player is shuffling up the other cards. One of the player cards on the table is going to be like the card they want to go for. So beginning of the game, I draw a card. That's the Little Red Riding Hood, for example. I don't say that out loud because it would be a horrible game. Then I shuffle it up and I put it on the grid. And then what I do is that I pick up 4 cards, or I don't remember exact number, but you pick up some cards, and these are the cards you use to give clues. So now, for example, I have Peter Pan, I have a Sea Witch, I have a Huntsman, and I have Puss in Boots. So what I will do now is that I will take one of them. Let's say I take Peter Pan. I can either place him like this on the table and say that the character that I want you to guess is somehow similar to Peter Pan. Or I can place it like this to say it's not similar. And then the other players have to choose one of the characters to discard. And with the next clue they have to discard 2, then 3, then 4, and so on until there's only 1 left, and then they win if it is the right character, or they will lose if they choose the other characters. And so that is basically the game. You have the fables, and then you have this as history. You can also play them together, where you will have one on the table and the other as a clue, which is interesting because it's harder to give historical characters clues for fable characters. So that is basically what you do in Similo. It took a while, sorry, for such a simple game. I could basically explain the rules in a shorter time than this, but ramblings! So yeah, what do you think, Similo?
I think it's really fun. We played Unusual Suspects, and it feels kind of like that because you have to like discuss, okay, what do we think you mean? And I think the first clue that the clue giver gives is really important, because then you're like setting the tone for the person that you want them to think about or not think about. And I think also when you're playing like your lost cards, that is like details you're trying to like get into, like differentiate between like the two lost cards that are in play. So I think it's fun to play. It's fast. When we played it, we're just like, okay, let's go again.
Yeah.
You do the clues this time. It goes so fast, and I think it was the hardest but also the most interesting when you combine the two, actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's easy to say like, okay, I don't know, some villain in Disney has something in common with the Wicked Witch of the West, because they're evil, and then you have to like find an evil in history or something, or that's so much harder.
Yeah, absolutely. I this game really surprised me as being so fun. and it's a 5-minute game, maybe 10 minutes if you are more people and you are discussing more. We have played it with 2, which worked really well, and also played it with more players, which also works well. I think this is a game like you can play it with 10, but then it would be like too much discussion and some people wouldn't be in the game. Some people would just basically be watching. So I guess this works best with maybe 2 to 5, 6, depending on the group. But yeah, this was a really surprise for me, and a game I think that you should check out as like a party game, as a super simple game to explain. And also it has like the unusual suspect was fun, but that is more of, it's called Racism the Game. It's more of that like stereotypical thing. This is more okay because it's historical people, it's fairy tale people, and yeah, there's really not too much to say about the game. It's just super fun, and I really think you should check it out.
Yeah, I agree. I think what differentiated like from Unusual Suspects is that you can argue that okay, he likes to watch TV or he likes to ride his bike, but here you can't really argue if the Little Red Riding Hood has like a mafia thing on the side. Yeah, that's irrelevant. So I think that's I was surprised.
Yeah,
like you.
This might be like one of the games that I was most surprised though by this year, actually, because I didn't really know a lot about it. We got copies to play and we really liked it, so I recommend this highly.
Yeah,
it would have been a good stocking filler if this video wasn't coming out this late.
Yeah, should we do a ranking for this? I think we should.
Okay.
I think for this genre is really good. I would like pick this over many games in like this genre, and therefore I'm going to give it, because it's not my favorite genre. That's not what we play the most, but I'm actually going to give it an 8.
Yeah, 8 makes sense. This is a really great game in this kind of category, and one that is so easy to pick up and so easy to bring along. Absolutely an 8.
Really happy with this game.
Yeah. We're gonna keep this one and play it.
Yeah.
That's Similo. Then we have over here, we have Kingdomino Duel. This is the roll and write Kingdomino 2-player version. It is basically kind of the same as Kingdomino. Instead of doing the drafting of the tiles with the order, if you don't know Kingdomino, check it out. But basically it has instead you roll dice and you draft them. So if I'm first player, I draft 1, then you draft 2 and I draft 1. And then you have to make a domino out of those and place them in the same way you do in Kingdomino. Some of them have crosses, which means it's kind of the crowns in Kingdomino. It will multiply with the number you have in the area to give you points. And ones who do not have a cross, those give you the ability to cross on another sheet. And if you are the first player to cross the amount needed for that symbol, you get a special ability or an instant ability over your component, and then your opponent, not component, your opponent. And then that opponent, not component, cannot get that ability. So it's kind of a race for those as well. But other than that, it feels kind of like Kingdomino.
Yeah, it's just like simplified and like a dual version. You can only play 2 players, so that is restrictive, but also it's a great travel game from that size. You could like just bring that sheet and a pen, and you're good to go actually.
Yeah.
So
you would also need a dice.
Yeah, you would.
Or it would be hard to play.
Where's the dice? This here I didn't need the dice.
Yay! I got what I needed again.
Yeah, so you can't. I think it's nice that the crowns and the areas are a little more like liquidy than in the original.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can like color your castle to get a cross in whatever area you want, and also when you don't get these crowns on your areas, you can race for some other bonuses. So it's not like automatically best to go for the ones with the crosses on.
But that's get your points, and points is the thing you win. So it would be obvious to get those if you can get points.
Yeah.
It's sometimes it's better to get points than to get a special ability.
I think it's interesting choices.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's obvious choices, like it is in Kingdomino as well. I'm not gonna go for a bad piece if I can get the piece I need.
Yeah, what I like the drafting mechanism more in original Kingdomino because you're just like, oh, I want this piece, but I don't want to be lost next turn. So is it worth it? You don't get like, here is like, I draw one, you draw two, I draw
It's
one
quicker.
again. Yeah.
Like it's a lot quicker.
Yeah, it is.
Like with 2 players. The first time I played this, I was like, do I need this over Kingdomino? And then when we played after that, I really liked it. It is Kingdomino, so if you don't like Kingdomino, you're not gonna like this, I think. Even though it is different. It's less colorful, like it is more just like, oh, you get a cross. It's kind of like boring that way because Kingdomino is colorful. You build this great area. Here it's just like a dot inside of a shield or a cross inside of a shield, and then you get a cross on the side. So it's really boring, like visual. But I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. It's super quick, and you can play it back to back in, I think you played like 15-20 minutes a game, and you can teach it in 2 minutes because it's super easy. The thing is though, like if you're gonna get this is like a 2-player only game, and if you are in the category of wanting to play Kingdomino style game, you probably just want to get Kingdomino because you can get that, and then you can play with more players as well, and it works well with 2. I don't really see the need for this game, but if you really like roll and write games and you need every roll and write game in your life, then you can get this. But I feel like it's kind of like a hop on the roll and write wagon of needing to have a roll and write of everything.
Yeah.
Kingdomino worked well with 2, and this is a good game. I really enjoyed it, but I don't see who will buy it.
I think people who like Kingdomino that is going to travel.
But Kingdomino is like this big.
Yeah, but it takes more space on the table if you're like taking...
It takes this space on table if you play with 2 players.
With 2 players?
And the sheet takes this. No, like one sheet is kind of like this. And a 5x5 grid, which is what you play in Kingdomino, is like this.
Yeah, I know what I would bring to a train ride. I would bring like Duel. If
but then you have to roll dice on a train.
Okay, I don't see like like, wow, I really needed this to exist. I'm not like that. Yeah, I agree with you.
But I like it.
Yeah. I'm going to give this a 6.5. Yeah. It's okay.
I agree with you. It's 6.5. It's a fine game. If you want to play Kingdomino as a roll and write with 2 players, then go for this because that's that. It is Kingdomino for 2 players as a roll and write.
Yeah.
So it's good. I enjoyed it. I might play it again, but I don't see why it exists when Kingdomino is actually good with 2 and also can play more players.
Yeah.
So next up we have this game called Oriflamme from Studio H. This is kind of a it feels like it's kind of a Game of Thrones inspired game where you are in a fantasy world with all of these different houses. What this game is a card game where you will draw, you have like 11 cards I think, which you shuffle, you take some of them out and then you have the rest in your hand. Then everybody started the same ones, but the shuffling and taking out means that you won't have the exact same cards, you don't know exactly what the other players have. And then all the players in player order is going to place one card from their hand face down. And when I place it face down, let's say in the middle, I'm the first player, I can place it in the middle, then you have to place it even to the left or to the right of that card. And it goes along. And then you're going to go to the start of this queue, which is basically it's a sequence of cards. You're going to go to the start of the queue and say, do you want to flip this card or not? If you don't flip it, it just stays there and it gets a point on it. And then if something flips, it will do its ability, and maybe it will kill some cards, maybe it will score some points, and then you continue down the queue. And now you are going to go again. So let's say you are a new start player, you take one of your cards, put it to the right or left of this queue now. And the cards that was there from last round will be there at this round. And you continue doing this until you played, I think, 7 cards. So you play 7 of your cards in your hand. After that, the player who has the most points is the winner. That is basically the game.
It plays up to 5 players, like 3 to 5. I see why it's not only 2. That would be boring.
Not very interesting.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
So the interesting thing about this game is like trying to manipulating the queue and doing the things that you need to do like before anyone else tries to screw you over.
Kill your cards.
And also like trying to figure out, okay, you didn't reveal that for 3 turns, so now it has 3 points upon it. Do I like try to attack you and maybe I can kill you so that you lose those points, or maybe it's trap under there.
Ambush!
Yeah.
And you get more points for me attacking it.
So yeah.
It's a bluff. It's a social interaction game. It's a bluffing game, trying to squeeze out points, trying to see like how long do I need to have that face down before I flip it over and surprise you all with, oh, haha, it was this card, and now nothing happens because I forgot what card it was. But it's kind of like this interaction between players that makes this interesting. I think it's a fun little game. I don't think it's something special, but it is different. Like I don't have a lot of games that is like this. It feels this way. It is not one of my favorite style of games with the attacking and all of that, but it doesn't bother me because it is that. Well, that's all the game is. A 20-minute game about trying to bluff and trying to play your cards in the right order and reveal them at the right time. It's a fine game.
Yeah, I was surprised how much I actually like this.
You like this more than me.
Yeah, because we don't really actually like this genre with like backstabbing and bluffing, but I think this went by so fast, and you're trying to like do the best you can, and sometimes okay, I have this really powerful card that like kills a card in the end of the queue, but your card is in the middle. I'm never going to attack that card because I don't have that kind of attack around my hands. I hope that someone else sees that you're getting a lot of points on that card. I think that's cool. I like this game.
Yeah, so what do you want to rank it?
I'm going to rank it an 8.
Cool.
I really like this.
Wow, that is high.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 6.5.
Yeah.
I think it's a fine game if you enjoy these kind of games, and if your group is into these kind of games, I think you will like this as a great filler. For our group, it isn't like the biggest hit, but you enjoyed it a lot more than me, so you can listen to whoever else you want to.
Yeah, it's not our most played genre, so but for what it is, I really enjoyed it.
Cool. So last up, we have another game. It's from Denmark, which is almost our neighbor country, and it is this game called Bloom Town. This is from Sidekick Games. This is Oscar and Daniel who made Flamme Rouge and a lot of other games, and this is kind of their first entrance into their own publishing company.
That's cool.
So this is a super light not engine building game, city building game, where you basically have some tiles in your hand, and you want to place a tile on your board. And then you place a tile on your board, and depending on where you place it, you will score some points depending on the kind of building, and then you will draw off the new tile depending on what symbol you place your tile on. And that is basically the game.
Yeah.
What you are waiting for is some scoring tiles. So when some scoring tiles come up, you will score some buildings again, and then after you have scored everything like a couple of times, I don't remember exactly when the game ends, when a couple of the tiles stacks are empty. I remember now. Depending on the number of players, you will empty some stacks of tiles, and after that, the game is over. It's super short. It's a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. You don't really get to build up a big city. It's just like you place maybe 10, 11 tiles, maybe 12, 13, depending on the number of players, and then your city is done. So every tile really counts on playing it.
Yeah, this felt completely different than I thought.
Okay.
Because you're always scoring 1 point for the building you're putting down, and then you score towards what kind of building that was. So if it was like a subway station, you score if you're connected like diagonally to other subway stations, and so on and so forth with the special. And that means that the first things that you place like only get you 1 or 2 or 1 point again. And I thought, I was like, oh, I'm looking forward to like get 10 points for a building like later in the game, that I felt like, and that never happened, because it's really hard to get the buildings that you need specific places to be there, because it dictates what then you can draw, and maybe you don't need that tile, and that is really interesting. But that it was different than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I knew stuff about the game before I played it, so it wasn't really a lot different than I thought it would be. But it was shorter. That was the only thing that I was like, oh, it's over already. but it is meant to be like a shorter game. I think that placement and drafting is the most interesting part of the game. The scoring of the buildings and stuff is okay. The thing that is like the problem of the game is the graphic design, where you have some buildings with color-coded pieces on top of the buildings, which you really have no idea of understanding or remembering what those are. And then the purple is blue and the blue is black. And it's really hard to see those colors, especially for the stores, because they score for different colors being adjacent to them, and those colors aren't anywhere. They're just on the store in 2 colors. So you have to look at this sheet in the rules, because you can't understand that. I liked what they tried to do of making the everything just like with no symbols, just with the artwork, but it didn't really work out for me.
Yeah, I think there is some luck in the game, because you can like, okay, I'm going to go for like these office buildings, but then no office buildings come out in a very, very long time. That can happen. And also someone can have you going for office buildings, but the office building scoring tile never shows up.
Yeah, and that kind of scores it again. So you will score, but that will score it again.
Yeah.
You have some way to manipulate that, because you have like a tile that you can use to,
I really think that's great.
To make it easier to score those things. But you can be unlucky, and that because there's 2 scoring tiles for each kind of building, and if you go heavy into offices, as you said, and none of those come out, then you can't do anything with it.
Yeah.
And that is just based on luck. And that is kind of the biggest downside, I would say, about the game, because you can be super lucky and get like double your score, and I can just sit here and don't get a lot of bonus points.
Yeah, I haven't like seen a game where that like hugely affects the gameplay, but
but it did. It absolutely did.
It did?
Yeah. When I, like, none of my scorings came out, like the 2 buildings I focused on, and then all the others came out, and then I didn't get any points, and just because based on luck.
Yeah, that's a bummer. I agree.
Because it's not like, okay, I see that you're building that and I can also build that, because then the scoring will come up. You can kind of do that, but then again, if you build that, you're going to draft those tiles, and I probably not going to draft those tiles if I'm not lucky to get those tiles when it's my turn. And so yeah, but it is meant to be like a gateway game. So it's not meant to be a heavy strategy game. And for that, it works well. It has that luck element, which means anyone can win, which is good for gateway style games. So I don't think it's too much luck to be enjoyed, but I think that it didn't like hit the mark that I want a city builder to do.
Yeah.
I would rather play Quadropolis as a gateway city builder game than this. This is a lot quicker and even a lot more easy to learn.
Yes.
So if you like, you can play this and then move up to Quadropolis. So this can be like a gateway light, and then you go to a gateway in Quadropolis.
A gateway game?
Gateway to the gateway game. Yeah, you need that now. They're like gateway game. Yes.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So that's that?
Yeah, I'm gonna rate that 6.5, I think.
Yeah.
I'm only giving out 2 ratings this time.
Yeah.
6.5 and 8.
I think I'm gonna give it a 7. I like this. Not hugely, but I do enjoy it. And I think it has a place in some gamers' collections.
Yeah.
And also for people, I think it's going to be at Target in the US.
Okay,
it's
cool.
Either, I think it's Target or it's another one of those chains. But it's going to be
nice.
Like that's basically why they did it. So it can, yes, you can get it in Target, I think. And that's nice to be like, it's a mainstream shop. And it's a game that can work for people who don't play board games.
Yeah, I agree.
So that is really, really nice. And that is the last game for this video.
Yes, it is.
So that's the end of another Rambling Reviews video. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm Johannes.
And I'm Sörva.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye-bye.